I'm packing my things to prepare for the summer. Moved into the back house of my landlord's mother. You came on the first night to see what you're missing. Hung out with my roommate, told jokes in the kitchen, then crashed on a newly made bed. We messed up the sheets, and you got in my head. So I drew on the walls with a crayon, like a kid who can't understand how bad he wants it. The drip in the faucet, I'm not getting back my security deposit. Hope that I'll see you again. I might not though. I could take the Amtrak out to Chicago. I'll walk you home and the sun's always beating. And you tried to kiss me, but my nose is bleeding. It drips right down your chin, and your shirt sticks to your skin. So I drew on the walls with a crayon, like a kid who can't understand how bad he wants it. The drip in the faucet, I'm not getting back my security deposit. I'm exhausted, but I'm never going to sleep. Not while you're with me. So I drew on the walls with a crayon, like a kid who can't understand how bad he wants it. The drip in the faucet, I'm not getting back my security deposit.
Wait. What do you like about this girl? I mean, there's like a lot of things. I'd probably start with.
I like the way she smiles. She got me staring for a while. Yeah. Baby, it's our conversation. She's my favorite notification. She knows how to dress for special occasions. She got me thinking life could be better. These songs start to feel like love letters. I should tell her now, would I ever? It is what it is, man, whatever. Whatever, yeah, whatever. I'm telling you now, it's whatever. Whatever, whatever. I'm telling you now, it's whatever. She keeps me close. In the friend zone? Yeah, but I don't mind it too much though. Why? If my feelings don't show, say it ain't so, man, you should know that I've been saying no. But maybe you're the one I've been looking for so long, so long. She got me thinking life could be better. These songs start to feel like love letters. I should tell her now, would I ever? It is what it is, man, whatever. Whatever, is it okay? Whatever, you feel the same. I'm telling you now, it's whatever. Whatever, you caught my eye. Whatever, should I cross that line? I'm telling you now, it's whatever. Mixed signals, can't understand what she's been saying, but my mind's fickle, don't know what game I've been playing. Whatever, is it okay? Whatever, you feel the same. I'm telling you now, it's whatever.
It's kinda crazy, the kinds of things life throws at you. I never knew I'd feel so safe in your arms. Now you're all I need. It wasn't long before I knew that I fell for you and you had my heart. As fast as the seasons changed, my heart was stolen. Parts of me that were broken, found love. And no amount of distance can change how I'm feeling, 'cause I know this is real. I'm so happy that you're nothing in this world can make me feel the way that you do. Feels like I'm dancing on moonlight. Of all the stars at night, none of them can shine as bright as you do. They can't compare to your light. Thousands of miles between, still couldn't stop us. Just the thought of your love was enough. It's hard to imagine life without you in it. Even if at a distance, I'm still happier. Baby, won't you listen when you feel you're missing me? Let this be a little lullaby, help you fall asleep at night. When I see you smile, I'm unafraid to grow up, 'cause with you the future seems so bright. Won't you stay here by my side?
Ama çok güzel ya. Yani
I'm aching through the growing pains. Just ignore 'em and they'll go away. Some things are here to stay, so they tell me. Lost myself yesterday, back on track and now I'm on my way. So you tell me, I think I disagree. So maybe I am the one who's growing up slowly. I can't forget you're growing up with me. I don't give up when things are unlikely. And suddenly, I'm half of where I thought I'd be by now. Saw you again today. We locked eyes and then you looked away. I remembered everything. Wish I told her. Unsure of everything. It's a weight I'm carrying in the unknown. It's easier alone. So maybe I am the one who's growing up slowly. I can't forget you're growing up with me. I don't give up when things are unlikely. And suddenly, I'm half of where I thought I'd be by now. Are losing your own game. Lost in what you proclaim. We're adults, so we'll figure it out for ourselves. I am the one who's growing up slowly, and suddenly I'm half of